Good night. This is Fumi Sleepy Time Stories. Tonight's bedtime story is about to begin.
Once upon a time, there was a miller who became poorer and poorer, until he had nothing left except a large apple tree behind his mill. One day, he went into the forest to chop wood. A stranger, an old man he had never seen before, approached him and said, "Why work so hard chopping wood? If you promise to give me what's behind your mill, I'll make you rich." "The apple tree," thought the miller. "All right," he said, and signed a written promise to the stranger. The stranger laughed mockingly. "In 3 years, I'll come and take what belongs to me." And with that, he vanished. When the miller came home, his wife greeted him with excitement. "Tell me, where did all this treasure come from? Every chest in the house is suddenly full, but no one's been here." "It was a stranger I met in the woods," the miller replied. "He said we'd be rich if I gave him what's behind the mill. It's just that old apple tree." "Oh, no, husband," his wife cried, terrified. "That must have been the devil. He doesn't want the tree. He wants our daughter. She's outside sweeping behind the mill." Their daughter was a beautiful and devout girl who feared God and had never done anything wrong. 3 years passed. On the day the devil came to take the girl, she washed herself from head to toe and drew a chalk circle around herself. The devil came early, but he could not get near her. Furious, he said to the miller, "Take away the water, so she can't clean herself. Without that I can use my magic on her." Frightened, the miller obeyed. The next day, the devil returned. But the girl's tears had washed her hands clean. Still unable to touch her, the devil shouted, "Cut off her hands, otherwise I cannot have power over her." The miller was horrified. "How could I possibly cut off my own child's hands?" "If you don't," the devil threatened, "you're mine. I'll take you instead." Terrified, the father gave in. He went to his daughter and said, "My child, if I don't cut off your hands, the devil will take me. I'm so scared. Please forgive me for what I must do." The girl replied, "Dear father, do it. I am your child." And she held out her hands, which he cut off. When the devil returned a third time, the girl was still weeping, and her tears had washed even her stumps clean. The devil had no power over her anymore. He had to give up and lost all claim to her. The miller said, "For your sake, I gained all this wealth. As long as you live, I'll see that you are well taken care of." But the girl replied, "I cannot stay here. I would rather go out into the world. Kind people will give me what I need." She had her injured arms bound behind her and set out at sunrise. She walked the whole day. At sunset, she came upon a beautiful orchard. In the moonlight, she saw trees full of tempting fruit. But a wide moat surrounded the orchard, and she couldn't cross. She was so hungry and thirsty. She hadn't eaten all day. "Oh, if only I could eat one of those fruits. I'm starving," she cried. She knelt and prayed to God. Suddenly, an angel appeared and built a dam in the moat. The water dried up, and the girl could enter the orchard. The angel walked beside her. In the orchard, The trees were filled with lovely pears, each one numbered. The girl approached one tree and, unable to use her hands, bit into a pear with her mouth. Satisfied, she crawled into the bushes and lay down. The gardener had seen everything, but when he noticed the angel beside the girl, he thought it was a ghost and didn't dare speak or cry out. The orchard's owner was a king. The next day, he came to count the pears and saw one missing, but none had fallen to the ground. He asked the gardener, "What happened?" "Last night a ghost came," the gardener said. "A girl with no hands. She ate one pear with her mouth." "How did she cross the water? And where did she go?" asked the king. "A snow-white being descended from the sky and built a dam," the gardener replied. "I believe it was an angel. I was so afraid I said nothing. The ghost left after eating. Tonight I'll come with you and see for myself," said the king. At nightfall, the king arrived with a priest. He brought the priest to speak to the ghost if it appeared. The three of them waited beneath the tree. At midnight, the girl came out of the bushes and bit into another pear. The angel in white still stood at her side. The priest stepped forward. "Are you from heaven or earth? Human or spirit?" "I'm no ghost," the girl replied. "I am a poor, forsaken soul. All have abandoned me but God." The king then said, "Even if the world has forsaken you, I never will." He brought her to his palace. Her beauty and kindness touched him deeply, and he made silver hands for her and took her as his wife. A year later, the king had to travel far away. He left the young queen in his mother's care. "If she bears a child, care for them well, and send me word as soon as you can." In time, the queen gave birth to a healthy, beautiful boy, the Issei. Old Queen wrote a joyous letter and sent a messenger. But as the messenger rested by a brook, he fell asleep. The devil, still seeking to harm the good queen, slipped a new letter into the man's pouch. It said that the queen had birthed a monster. The king was horrified upon reading it, but wrote back kindly, saying they should care for the queen until he returned. Again, as the messenger rested by the same brook, the devil replaced his letter. This time it said, "Kill the queen and her child." The king's mother opened the letter and was shocked. She wrote to her son again, but no reply came, for the devil replaced every message. The final forged letter demanded proof of the queen's execution, her eyes and tongue. The king's mother wept bitterly. She could not bring herself to kill the innocent, so she slaughtered a deer instead and kept its eyes and tongue as evidence. Then she said to the queen, "I cannot kill you, but you can no longer stay here. Take your child and never return." The poor woman strapped her son to her back and left in tears. She wandered deep into the forest and knelt to pray. An angel came to her and led her to a small cottage, marked with a sign, "Everything free." White-robed maid greeted her. "Welcome, Queen," she said, and led her inside. She took the baby and helped him nurse, then laid him in a finely carved little bed. "How do you know I'm a queen?" the woman asked. "I am an angel," said the maid. "God sent me to care for you and your child. The queen lived in that house for 7 years, well cared for. Because of her faith and devotion, God made her hands grow back. The king finally returned home. His first thought was for his wife and child. His mother wept and said, "You cruel man! Why did you order me to kill them?" She showed him the forged letters and the deer's tongue and eyes. The king mourned deeply. "If they're dead, I'll never be happy again." His mother then confessed, "They still live. I spared them and sent them away. I feared your anger." The king declared, "I'll search the world for them, and I won't eat or drink until I do." He searched for 7 years, and though he ate nothing, God sustained him. He looked in every crevice and cave but could not find them. He feared they had perished from hunger or cold. At last he came to a great forest and saw the cottage marked, "Everything free." The white-robed maid came out and led him inside. "Welcome, your majesty," she said. "What do you seek?" "I've searched for my wife and child for 7 years," he replied. "I've looked everywhere." The angel offered him food and drink, but he refused, asking only for rest. He lay down and covered his face with a handkerchief. The angel entered the room where the queen and her son lived. "Your husband has come," she told them. The queen took the child and went to the king. The handkerchief slipped from his face. The queen said, "Sadness, pick it up and cover your father's face." The boy did so. The king stirred, joy rising in his heart. But the boy said, "Mother, why do you call him my father? I've learned to pray, 'Our Father in heaven.' And you told me my father lives there. This man can't be him." The king sat up at once. "Who are you?" he asked. "I am your wife," she replied, "and this is your son, Sadness." The king looked at her hands, but my wife had silver hands. "God has restored mine," she said. The angel entered and showed the king the silver hands. At last, he knew the truth. This was his beloved wife and child. He kissed them both and said, "Now the stone is lifted from my heart." The angel dined with them one last time. Then the king brought his wife and child home, where his mother welcomed them, and there was great rejoicing. The king and queen held their wedding again, and they lived happily ever after.
you.